What's up, everybody? I'm Aslan Hajavandi. New set behind me. Spent all Saturday building it. Spent all Sunday with that guy, Michael Langston, at the Sunshine Showcase recruiting bonanza. Hit the thumbs up button. You're listening to us, watching us on YouTube. Would appreciate it. Subscribe button, lower right corner. You see the stuff on the bottom of the screen. It's also part of the podcast at Wake Up Warchant. Michael, I don't need to tell you to wake up. You've been up for a long Well, let's get right to it. We don't want to bore people with our daily personal lives. Ultimately, how would you sum up the Sunshine Showcase camp and the day itself, Sunday? We can maybe talk a little about Saturday, but let's focus on Sunday.
Yeah, it was. I've never experienced anything like that. Over 50 college coaches there. You got Ron Zook going by you every 5 seconds, Maryland, and then you got Jawan Sider from Penn State, obviously there too. Over 50 schools. It was just watching some of these coaches. They were out there even helping with the coaching with the kids, and I just think it was beneficial for everybody, especially FSU, just because you can evaluate these coaches, you can hobnob with them, build relationships with them, have them on your own campus. There's kids you're not going to take in this class. Maybe another school wants them. You can't take them, but maybe somebody else can give a look and get somebody. And then two, it's just you get more kids when they know other college coaches are going to be on campus. It's just a benefit for FSU in such a strong way. It's just almost like playing chess over checkers. I mean, Norvell understands, the big picture, and just a phenomenal event. People would see me. Yes, I have not shaved in a few days, so I might look like Aslan and got a beard, but it was a really long event, or I should say long just in how long we were there, but at the same time, it was a very fruitful and very beneficial event for FSU, both recruiting-wise and from an evaluation standpoint. I think they got a lot of evaluations done. There's several kids. If you guys go to the PRB, I just posted a breakdown of some of the prospects that I think they made an impression with. Some on the offensive line, some on different skill positions. So I think, and there was some offers that went out today. So I think it was a big deal either way, because you get to evaluate guys that maybe FSU liked on film, but they wanted to see how they moved around in their kind of setting where they coached these guys up. So I think it was a extremely strong event. I don't think any of us, we had everybody out there. I think just about everybody on our staff was out there. And I don't think anybody really knew what to expect because we had never done any of these things before under Norvell. So I think it went even better. At least from my perspective, I think it went even better than I originally thought it would, because of just there was always something. There was always a session going on, no matter. I mean, we had to take a break and we went to Kush's for lunch and stuff like that, guys. But there was always a session going on. It's okay. Like to be proactive with everyone and clear. But my point was, like, there was never a time where guys were just sitting around waiting for the next thing. I mean, everything was time sensitive. It was perfect. And I think this was an extremely well organized event. When you're considering 3,000 kids, campers on your campus, if you add them all together, that's extremely impressive for FSU to get all these evaluations in just one day.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, you're always focusing on the big picture when it comes to recruiting, but I'm always just worried about, the here and now. I don't want to talk about kids that are 4 years, 3 years away, but sometimes you have to worry about that. And that's what a lot of Sunday was about, was establishing relationships with the younger 2023 and beyond prospects.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of 2023 guys that they like, 24. I think they offered a 25 quarterback today after the event that threw both at the elite camp the night before and then today. So I think it's more of this is what I was told before this thing even started in the mega camp, was it's more about evaluations for the 2023 and beyond than it was the 2022 guys. That's why they had the elite camp last night and stuff like that. But I think a lot of this was just you get ahead of the curve. Aslan, it's always good to stay ahead of the curve, always good to stay ahead of the competition. And And the thing is too, people may bickered about all these teams they're bringing in, but none of these teams are consistently schools that FSU has to battle with for recruits. So I think it's a win-win for FSU. I think it was a riveting success, and certainly I think it gives you a foot forward on evaluations when you can get these kids on campus, taking advantage of what the NCAA allowed them to do as far as an evaluation period in June. And I think it's just a smart call.
All right, let's go back into the past now. Let's talk about Saturday then. Just absolute star-studded event they had, not only on the Al Dunlap practice fields, but also inside of Doak Campbell Stadium. Travis Hunter, Alu Ba, several guys that are on board for Florida State Elite, and then some on campus. How crazy. I guess pull the curtain back a little bit about that, Michael, and walk everybody through what your Saturday, you and Austin Cox, remember the Warchant, what it was like.
Man, that was wild because we knew all these prospects are coming on campus. It was like 50 or 60 of them. So we're like, okay, these dudes are going to be here for 2 days. We're going to get up. I told Austin, we'll get up some of them and we'll get up the rest and whatever. And I think the original plan was, and we posted this on Warchant, that they were going to work out some guys at 3:00. Lamont Green Jr. had even confirmed that to me the day before, like, hey, they want us to work out. They're going to do use of workout. And I think they got enough. They got so many guys that the showing was so good that I think they were like, no, you know what? Let's just make this a mini camp. Let's just make this an elite camp. So then they did all these guys and they got to work, and they started in the IPF area with the football facility, practice fields. They did some stuff out there. And then Norvell threw another curveball, which he's good at. Seems like he throws a lot of curveballs, but said, hey, guys, he told all the campers, we're going to move this to Doak Campbell because I want to see how you guys react inside, our stadium and taking the coaching and, the one-on-ones and stuff like that. And you could tell with all the kids I interviewed Saturday night, which was a bunch in Doak Campbell, there was a lot of kids that were mesmerized just working out in Doak Campbell. Some of them are going to be major FSU targets. Some of them might not be, but they can always say that they were playing in Doak Campbell or working out there. So I think Norvell wanted to see what they would do in certain situations, and he's always doing crazy stuff. We as on video this last night, they first started with big linemen and linebackers fielding punts. See how well you can field punts. I think and then the skill guys, he was challenging them to kick field goals, and I think it's about getting off your comfort zone. That's what the whole idea of the whole thing was. And I think Travis Hunter joked with me or joked with Norvell when he said, he's like, I can punt it through. I don't think I can kick it through. So it was just a really cool event and a lot of competition. It was really intense out there. One-on-ones were very good just the whole night. Hard coaching. They coach these guys as hard as they do the players that they have on their team. And just so many elite guys out there to have that on campus. Guys like top recruits like Vic Burley, who was there, Travis Hunter, having him on campus. There was so many to list. It's almost impossible to list, but I think it was just it was one of those calculated, organized decisions that Norvell's been known for, and this is a way to, hey, let's get all the elite guys out of the way as far as evaluations, that we can evaluate all these guys, we can work them, they can see what it's like to work with us as coaches that are major targets. And I think it had a big impression on a lot of recruits because I don't think they expected that they knew for sure this is coming down, but they're all ready and they're like, hey, let's do it.
Cain Madden, we didn't talk about on the podcast. I'm going to have to – I know all the folks on the PRB know it frontwards and backwards, but just Cain Madden, the All-American offensive lineman from Marshall that made his first visit once the window opened on June 1st, came to Florida State, came to Tallahassee, but ultimately decided to go to South Bend and Notre Dame. That's a bummer, man. I know life goes on and everything, but that's a bummer. That
it is.
Cool.
It is
Going to Notre Dame. What do you think? you have any sort of feel, Michael, of what the determining factors might have been for that?
Well, I mean, I started getting a little nervous when I saw Notre Dame. When I talked to my sources, and they say, well, he also wants to visit Notre Dame because Notre Dame's closer to home for him. He's from Ohio. Obviously, I don't need to tell people that what Notre Dame does with offensive linemen, so their history speaks for itself. And as I told people on our message board, Notre Dame's a more stable and established program than FSU is. FSU's trying to get back to showing a good product on the field. Notre Dame already has that point. They're there, and we talked about this the other night that FSU. They should be happy, excited that, look, they got a shot. They went out there. They did everything they could do. They pitched everything they could do. They pitched everything with their future, what they can do. But at the end of the day, you're battling Notre Dame, an established program, so it's going to be tough to win that battle. And I think in the end, he went with the team that he knows is, top 10 team consistently every year in his final year, and a team that he knows consistently does a great job with offensive linemen. I can tell you this, Alex Atkins made it really difficult for him because he really liked Coach Atkins a lot. He really liked Coach Norvell a lot. I think there was questions probably about, hey, where is this program going? I think if Notre Dame wasn't involved, I think it was looking almost, extremely likely that he was going to end up at FSU, which probably irritates people more. Notre Dame's involved, but that's what you're going to deal with, guys, when you're going after top transfer portal guys, especially All-Americans. I still think they're going to get an offensive lineman. They're going to push to get one. There's several out there that are already in the portal. I think Connor Wood is one that I've mentioned a little bit. He's also an All-American in the FCS range. So there's going to be other guys that they're going to go after. Yes, it's a bummer. It stinks. This guy's an All-American. How would you not be upset? I mean, I don't blame any fan that's upset because, they were looking good for him. And then Notre Dame swoops him there in the final hour and gets involved and nabs him. But that's part of transport recruiting, guys. I mean, you're going to go against, really good teams when you're battling for really good players. And sometimes it's going to work out for FSU as it did with Jermaine Johnson, and sometimes it won't.
All right. The video now, the podcast is over, but the work far from over this week. More camps coming up, big man camp, everything over on the PRB. We got one-on-ones. You saw the highlights earlier in this video. So go to the PRB. Michael Langston, Austin Cox got you covered. Michael, thank you for your time.
Appreciate it, man.